Continue monitoring the president's remarks, and I mean no offense to him, or some of you might want to continue hearing, but I did have to say that even though the former president is entitled to his opinions, he's not entitled to his own set of facts. The market has indeed been going up, but having nothing to do with him and everything to do with this aggressive cut in interest rates, or just a hiking in interest rates that stabilized inflation, and of course the whole artificial intelligence phenomenon that has benefited NVIDIA and a host of companies that are making money hand over fist. So that, whether you want to give Biden credit for that, has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Furthermore, he mentioned about gas prices out of whack, $6 a gallon. The national average right now is $3.26 a gallon. He went on to talk about the 2020 election and how that was rigged. This has been adjudicated many, many times, dozens of times. It's been investigated by everyone and his uncle. No fewer than 44 investigations launched, some of them by judges that were picked by Donald Trump himself, that found no evidence of that in the 7 battleground states where most of them were focused.
Fox News' Neil Cavuto continues to push back against the blatant lies coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, from his economic arguments to how much his 2020 election loss hurt his feelings. You could say Trump is losing Neil, but this has been his energy since Trump's term, specifically the mishandling of COVID, which hit Neil Cavuto particularly hard. It's got him asking fearful Republicans some pressing questions about reality.
Congressman, didn't that package really, I'm sorry, sir, but didn't that package really fail because Donald Trump didn't want it? And many in your party, I'm not saying you are, sir, are scared stiff of the guy. You didn't want to offend him. You didn't want to tick him off. So that was why it died.
Well, what if I told you, Neil, this is a lucrative topic and everybody wants to just mine it, nobody wants to solve it? That's all fun and games, but what if you're Little Old Eagle Pass or Uvalde or San Antonio or New York City or Boston or Denver or anywhere else in the country? I think Americans have had enough with the politics, and we're not going to wait until a new president comes to solve it. Let's solve it today. This is something that Congress...
Wasn't that the chance that both parties had, sir, with this interim agreement? It wasn't perfect, to your fine point. But the fact that Donald Trump didn't like it, many in your party didn't want to fight him. They're scared of him, or he's bedeviling them, or I don't know, he's going to come back and do something horrible. I don't know what it is. And that's what blew it up.
You have to put them on record for being for or against Trump's demands to ignore a problem that the entire party has railed and campaigned on for years. And it sometimes ends in legislators agreeing to work, even if they decide not to later. The problem is that Cavuto is listening to their answers and actually trying to make sense of their ever-changing stances.
To defy the Supreme Court, I'm going to take money, I'm going to pay off student loans, and I'm going to do it just because I can. That's what he's doing with the border. He's flooding the zone. He is making it to where our borders are wide open because he sees that as electorally beneficial for him and Democrats. He's trying to transform our country, and he thinks he can get away with it by clamping down in election season on the border. We're trying to stand up.
But Congressman, isn't that a little inconsistent? You're right, but isn't that a little inconsistent? Because you're saying he shouldn't go ahead by an executive fiat and authority start forgiving loans. But many in your party, I don't know about you, Congressman, so forgive my ignorance, are saying when it comes to executive action, you should take plenty of such actions when it comes to the border because you undid a lot of stuff that Donald Trump did. You can't have it both ways.
Because the law. But
whether it's the rare case of Fox anchors like him refusing to blindly follow inconsistent and anti-American talking points, or Republican legislators' wild attempts to minimize Trump's illegal activities by embarrassing themselves the way James Comer and Jim Jordan have, a little bit of truth escapes the airwaves over at Fox every once in a while. Comer and Jordan's desperate investigation into the Bidens might have been the last straw for John Roberts as well.
So they've got a lot of receipts with Hunter Biden. They've got a bunch of receipts with Jim Biden as well. But so far, there's nothing to connect all of that to the president in any kind of way that looks like it's illegal or even potentially unethical. Mm-hmm. How much longer can this probe go on before the Republicans have to either put up or move on?